Center Jamaica local team invitation. Be a part of it. Let's change Jamaica and make Jamaica great again.
We have to protect the woman and the youths now. Elderly in a fear them get shoot down. Yo, me tired if me tell you not the truth now. This is what we have to do now. Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life. What we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good.
A message from the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
All right, Omega listeners, at this time, yes, we have a proud sponsor coming before you. It is now time for Queen Bee Frequency with your host, Tikea Bowers, here today on Omega Radio. We invite you to stick and stay with us. Don't touch that dial as we get ready to turn you over to another episode of Queen Bee Frequency right here on Omega Radio.
Hey, Queen. It's your girl, Tikea. Welcome to Queen Bee Frequency on Omega Radio, your space for growth and becoming her. Tune in Wednesdays at 10 a.m., where energy shifts and queens rise. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Queen Bee Frequency, where energy shifts and queens rise. I'm your girl, Tikea, and we're back for another episode. And this episode, I feel like, is very important because, especially stepping into Mother's Day weekend, I'm not sad. I'm just tired of being strong all the time. And for all the mamas out there, this one's for you. I know how hard it is navigating life, work, everything, keeping a household together and a marriage and just life. So I want to talk to you a bit about how important it is to make time for yourself and understand that you're carrying a lot and you're not lazy. You're just tired. You're burned out. And you're not taking time for yourself. So let's talk about how everyone depends on you, but you're unable to fulfill everything because you carry so many titles, you're carrying so many bags, and sometimes you find it impossible to take some time for yourself. So we're going to talk about that today. All right. So a lot of the times I find myself just overwhelming myself, and I'm not a mama yet, but I can understand how it can be very challenging, especially because my schedule is so hectic. I have a full-time job. I'm here with you guys. And then I have other things that I love to do. So I can only imagine how much of a struggle it is to be so strong for everyone else and not take time for yourself. And sometimes you feel so overwhelmed and defeated and exhausted that you feel like you can't do this, you can't do that. You feel severely challenged when all your body is asking you for is a little bit of rest. Strength became our personality, not our choice. So what I mean by that is that a lot of us believe that we have to be overly busy in order to feel like we're achieving something or we're accomplishing something. And I know we talked about this a few weeks ago where I told you that overworking yourself and being exhausted is not a reward. Rest is a reward. When you rest yourself and you give yourself more time to build up the energy that you need to fulfill all of the tasks that need to be done. But a lot of us don't do that. We take on a lot of tasks. For example, and I can speak for myself, where I lost both of my parents and I took on the responsibility of taking care of my brother who's bipolar and schizophrenic, and he's much older than me. He's 57. He's my big brother. And I remember promising my mom that I would, in her absence, I would be there for him. I would take care of him and I would take on that role. But I didn't know that when my mom passed away that I had to then take care of my dad, which was totally fine. And then also move in and take on the responsibility of taking on my brother as well, which is not an easy task. It was a huge undertaking. So in that, creating a business, running a household, getting married, having 5 animals, all of that, I didn't realize where all of my attitude was coming from. I would lash out. I felt just not like myself. And all I had to do was just rest, but I couldn't find the time to do it. So I'm here to tell you that if you don't find the time to rest, your body will shut down. Survival mode becomes our normal, and always thinking ahead will crash us out. We just have to sometimes just vibe and let just go with time, and trust the process and trust God that everything is going to work out, even with the time that we rest. I know that we talked about a while back Matthew 11:28, and we were talking about, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." That's an invitation from God to rest in the spirit, to rest your spirit. And also, when you're overly exhausted, you can't hear from God. You can't hear direction. You can't hear anything because your brain is overwhelmed with what to do next. So, in that time, when you feel like your body is just run down, you feel exhausted, listen to yourself, listen to your body, and rest. So, as a mama working, creating businesses, and doing all the things, a lot of us are leaders and also leaders in our households. We have to take that time to rest. I realized I was surviving life and not experiencing it. And that was huge because I remember a time where I was able to just get up and go and do whatever I wanted. And I was talking to my husband about this a few weeks ago, where I told him I would just book a flight on a whim and call my mom and be like, "Hey, I'm in Spain." And I just lived this carefree life and just had such a good time. And then life just kind of spiraled. And I found myself being a caretaker. Not only was I a caretaker, but I worked as a caretaker. I was a nurse. I'm a nurse. And doing all of that, I feel like, your family will look at you and be like, "Well, you're a nurse, you do this for a living. You're okay. You could do this." And they don't realize how I would literally take work home and take home to work because I was so stressed, I was so exhausted, and I wasn't operating at my best potential. And that's because I was overworking myself. So listening to Matthew 11:28, where God offers us a chance to rest, he is literally telling us that if we do not rest, if we don't find time for ourselves, if we don't take the time to rest our bodies and our minds, we're not going to be able to hear from him, and we're not going to be able to get the things that we truly need because we're so closed off, because we're tired and irritated. So protecting your peace and saying no when you can, especially when you have other people in your life that are able to assist you and help you. Mamas, utilize your husbands, utilize your moms. If you're blessed to still have your mom, if you're blessed to still have your parents, utilize them, utilize your family members and friends, because you don't want to burn out. You want to be there for your babies. You want to be there for your family. You don't have to abandon yourself to be loved. And what I mean by that is a lot of us feel that if we say no, that we are going to lose the people in our lives. We are going to make them so upset, and we feel like we constantly have to go, 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 go. And saying no is not a bad thing. If they fall away, honestly, they fall away, but eventually they will have to understand that you come first. You are number one in this. So stop proving yourself to everyone by offering everyone your empty gas tank. If you don't have any more fuel to give, do not waste the good energy that you have on insignificant tasks by, running around for everyone and not running around for yourself. What would your life look like if you stopped carrying things that were crushing you? What would it look like? Ladies, seriously answer that question. If you stopped today and gave yourself a chance to rest, spend time with yourself, do the things that you like, and fulfilled yourself, what do you think your life would look like? You would have a better attitude, better sleep patterns. You'd get more done because your body is rested. So give yourself that chance. So we're going to go into the Queen's Library, a segment that we started a few weeks ago. And we're going to talk about a book that I haven't started yet, but is on my playlist because I told you I use Audible. I don't have a lot of time to sit down and actually read a book. So while I'm driving, while I'm in the house cooking or cleaning, I'm listening to my books. And this book that is on my list that I found and read a review on that really sparked my interest is by Tricia Hersey. And this book is called Rest is Resistance. It is a fabulous book because it speaks about not allowing yourself or not depriving yourself of rest and welcoming rest and seeing the possibilities that could happen in your life if you gave yourself the chance to rest and just be you. Because like I told you, when I was running and going as a caretaker at home and when at work, my attitude was terrible. And not to mention, when your attitude is like that, it can disrupt a lot of things in your life, your marriage. It could really harm your kids because they feel like mommy's unapproachable. And that's not how we want to be. We want to feel real rested and feel like ourselves. So don't stop elevating just because life got too heavy. So find time, even if you don't have time to read a book, join Audible. It's $8 a month and it's really beneficial. There's an array of books on there. And if you have Spotify too, Spotify has a lot of free Audible books on there, audiobooks that you can read. And since it's Mother's Day, I want to give a shout out to the mamas out there, especially my mom in heaven, who I miss so much. Faye Bowers, you are and were a rock star in my life and taught me so many great lessons. And I love you and I miss you every single day. And one of my best friends is about to send her baby off to college. And I look up to her so much because my dream and my goal is to become a mom one day. And watching her do it so effortlessly has been I'm so in awe of her because she created her own company. It's called MHT Accounting. If you own a company and you are looking for someone to do your bookkeeping or you need someone as a tax preparer, her company does it all. She built this company from the ground up on her own as a single parent. Her name is Molly. And if you go to mhtaccounting.com, that's where you can find her services. A huge shout out to you, Molly, for getting your daughter ready for college, who's going away in a few weeks. I'm so proud of you. And she did this on her own with the support of her family. But honestly, being a mama is really challenging. I watched her do it and she got her daughter to the finish line with honors. So shout out to you and all the mamas out there doing it on your own or even in a relationship. You know, we run the show. So just to let you guys know, don't forget the Be Luck Self-Love Journal. This book is on Amazon and I wrote it myself. It is such a wonderful book because it helps you with your self-love and you can find it on Amazon and just look it up, the Be Luck Self-Love Journal. And same time, same frequency next week on Omega, live on YouTube and on 101.9 FM. Can't wait to see you guys next week and same time, same frequency. Love you guys with all of my heart. Happy Mother's Day.
Hey Queen, it's your girl Tikea. Welcome to Queen Bee Frequency on Omega Radio, your space for growth and becoming her. Tune in Wednesdays at 10 a.m. where energy shifts and queens rise.
All right, Omega listeners, you were just tuned into Queen Bee Frequency here today. We do trust that you enjoyed today's program, that you'll tune back in next week, Wednesday at the same time, right here on Omega Radio. Thank you for tuning in today. Continue to stick and stay with us and stay locked into this station. We do have some more coming up for you. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and then we'll jump back in with some more. We have another proud sponsor coming up shortly as well. Stick and stay with us here today on Omega Radio.
It's the #1 radio in the atmosphere, here, there, and everywhere. Omega Radio.
My Mega, my best value by far.
With so much to do in one location, make Mega Mart your one-stop shop. Pick up your groceries and houseware needs, grab a bite and pay some bills, fill your prescriptions and see the beauty products in our